It's here. So today we're going to take a look at Endless Trip 2 Sputnik1 by DAMTOYS, COALDOG, Park Z, and the Endless Trip line. So this is the second release from the Endless Trip. The first one was this guy, which I think I reviewed years ago, the UFO one. And this is their second release, and this is a fucking huge piece. This thing is the biggest release COALDOG has ever put out there, basically. So let's try and take a look at the box. It's pretty far away, so I have to use my sword here. So this is the box. Hope it's in focus. It's really hard because it's a big one. So you could see the Sputnik vehicle. So what I've known of Sputnik is it's a Soviet type of satellite, the first ever man-made satellite ever to orbit Earth. It orbited Earth, I think, for 3 months, then it burned up. It looks like this, basically. It's like a spherical dome orb with antennas out, so you could see the inspiration there. This does come with the pilot. The original Sputnik didn't have a pilot. It was just a unmanned device thingy-bob. And yeah, this is the box for Sputnik1 Endless Trip 2. So with that being said, let's take a look at it. And here's the pilot for the Sputnik1. There is no name for this guy, so yeah. Let's take a closer look at him. And here's a closer look at Sputnik1's pilot. Now, the original Sputnik didn't have a pilot. This is just an artist inclusion, I guess. So you can see the old technology of like the 1950s-ish style. Looks like a typewriter with all the knobs. He's nicely weathered. Oh, the stitching as well is nicely done as well. He does have like a magnet apparatus here. It says strong magnet, so this helps him magnetize to the ship, as well as his umbilical cord, which I'll show you later. So this is a Russian astronaut, because there's Russian iconographies all over him and his ship as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a name. There is no lore behind this guy, which is unfortunate. Maybe there is somewhere. I might have missed it, but I couldn't find it when I was researching. So let's take a closer gander at him. So this is the ideal Soviet face. You can see his technology of, I guess, his life support system. There is some words here. I can't read it. It's a bit small. Yeah, I'll try to put it on screen if I could figure it out. I'll have to find a magnifying glass or something like this. I don't think I could read that on screen. So he has this as well, CCP. I don't know if that's Russian. If you guys know, let me know. It's just his stitching. It's nicely done. It's not the latex as the first Endless Trip. This is cloth, so I'm not worried about it degrading over time. His space shoes, which can be articulated. It's a bit dirty. You can see the wires and stuff. So this is the magnet. Yeah, this is it. This is you can move these as well. There's like his maneuver thing to help him move around in space. But yeah, this is it. This is the Sputnik1's pilot. So with that being said, let's see what he comes with. computer, satellite dish, helmet, coffee, Leica's dome, umbilical cord, claw hand, another claw hand, hand. And this is everything the Endless Trip to Sputnik1 comes with. There's a few other things which I'll show you later. So first up, let's take a look at the satellite dish. So this attaches to the astronaut himself, not to the ship. So you can see, not suitable for making popcorn. Okay. Good to know. It does articulate, but that's, for me, that's kind of scary. So up to you. So yeah, it's nicely weathered. Yeah. Next up is his handheld computer. Basically, this also attaches to his spacesuit. So it says, error, the mission cannot be updated due to being too far away from the base. So you can see there's some graphics there. 2023. This does not articulate. It's a static piece. There's also like a MESM thing here. I don't know what that means. If anybody knows, let me know. So yeah, it's a very janky looking onboard computer, which I love. I like these janky looking tech from COALDOG. So next up we have his helmet, Sputnik1. It has more. God, I can't read that. Head stuck in the back of helmet. Did I read that right? Am I reading this right? Head stuck in the back of helmet. Okay. So Endless Trip 2, COALDOG. If I'm reading that wrong, let me know. It's just, that's what it seems. It does articulate to reveal his face, if you want. Yeah. This is the pilot's helmet. Then we have Leica's dome, which is just an acrylic dome for the dog head. If you don't know, is I think the first dog in space. I don't know if it's the first animal in space, but it's the first dog in space. It's a Russian dog. So this is her, I think. Not him. Doesn't look too happy. It does magnetize to the ship. There's a magnet. Now comparing it to the Endless Trip 1 Leica, which I have somewhere here. Yeah, this one seems a bit more happy. So yeah, I think sculpt wise it's the same, just paint is different. So there's the two comparisons. Yep. You cannot attach this to the Sputnik1 because the magnet is not, it repels, it's not attracted. I don't know what you call that. It's not a negative, it's a plus. Like it attracts now, right? But if you put this on a spaceship, it won't attach. I sounded very smart just now. Just so yeah, this is Leica's head. Next up we have his coffee. Yeah, no branding or anything. It's just a standard cup with a straw. And then we have his two claw hands, or his clamp hands. Again, nicely done. Nicely weathered. It is articulated, but is stiff, so be careful. If you want to attach this to his hands. If he's doing some repairs or something to the ship. Then we have his open hand. His grippy hands, sorry. Again, nicely weathered. Even the paintwork and all that. It's nicely done for something so small. And then we have his open hands. And then lastly, we have his umbilical cord, which is... camera's going crazy. As I was saying, the umbilical cord. So this is like a wire, I guess, a very strong wire, actually. It does take a bit of force to bend it. There's a magnet there and a magnet here. So one is for the ship and one's for the... I think this is for the astronaut. You attach it to his back. And this is for attaching to the ship. I'm not going to use this because it's kind of a hindrance in displaying because I don't have the space for it. But, you know, the option's there. That'll go in the box. You also get this cool sticker. So you can see the guy is not really happy. So it says Sputnik1, COALDOG, DAMTOYS. Sticker wise, I don't know, it doesn't look like... I don't really like it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. It's not really... I don't know what's going on because his stuff is getting a bit too simplistic. I like his earlier stuff, unfortunately. But I'll still display it. You also get this bag, as you get with all other DAMTOYS COALDOG. Basically, you put all the accessories in here if you want. But again, I would tell you to not do that because it will risk of damage and you know you don't want that, so it's up to you, but you do get a little bag for it. You also get this one panel sorry, let me move this one panel comic strip, which is kind of disappointing to me, honestly. I really like COALDOG's comics, but this is just one page. One piece of paper, really. So he gets an SOS, plans, and then he discovers what is the other release from Endless Trip, which is the zombie astronaut. I don't know what I feel about this. This is kind of... yeah. I kind of miss his weird storytelling, but this is just, I don't know, it's lacking. Even the I think the quality of the artwork as well is kind of like, am I just being too nitpicky? What do you guys think? Yeah. And lastly, you get this weird instruction type pamphlets. It's not really a book, it's just individual papers, which is weird. So yeah, let's just go through it one by one. Yeah, so this is one. For long-term display, use the product base, prolonged standby on. So yeah, again, you can display the Sputnik on top of his antennas, but again, I'm not gonna do that because I felt it. It's plastic. It's not really die-cast, so it does run the risk of breaking. Next up, so it does have some battery operated lights, which I don't have the batteries. The batteries are LR41. There is a way to insert it, which I'll show you later, so I'll have to order those batteries later. Place the dog on top, so it shows there where to place the dog. Leica's head. Okay, to open the hatch, press down gently on the top of the transparent hemisphere, then pilot in the back. Then pivot it backward. Okay, sorry. Then lastly, first position the astronaut in the sitting posture and ensure the magnetic contacts are connected. Then close the cockpit hatch. He looks happy. So yeah, this is pretty weird for me. It's just very cumbersome to have these type. I don't know why it couldn't be like a small book. Yep. And lastly, you get two other things. You get some extra pegs. and this little screwdriver to unscrew the battery port for Sputnik 1. And yeah, so with that being said, let's load up the astronaut. And here is Sputnik 1's pilot all loaded up. So you got the computer, the satellite dish, his claw hand, and his helmet on. And this is how I plan to display him. Now, in order to attach these two, you just have to remove these two handles from his maneuver device thing from the handles, and you just, stick them in. Now, these things, as you can see, have two plug points, so you could have the dish on the right side or left side, so it's really up to you. Yeah, this is a really, really nice figure. So I have him posed as if he's getting ready for launch or getting ready to start repairs or something. Yeah, so with that being said, let's do some comparisons. So here's the comparison with the Endless Trip 1 Cosmonaut and the Endless Trip 2 Cosmonaut and the Endless Trip 2 Cosmonaut Zombie, which I'll review in a later date. But yeah, this is the full Endless Trip line thus far. So with that being said, let's take a look at the ship. And here is Sputnik 1. It does come with its own stand, but I'll show you that later because I want to show you the main body itself up close. So you can see the rivets, the whole weathering. I also did not attach the antennas yet. This is where one goes because it's pretty long. So you can see my reflection in the vac metal. This is the only review where I'm wearing pants. Don't want to offend anybody. You can see all the wires and what do you call it? Electrical boxes. So you got Sputnik 1 and Endless Trip 2. So there's a lot of these little labels here and there, which I'll show you in a bit. It's a lot to go through. This is where the umbilical cord plugs in. And that's the main dome. So you open it like this. It's a bit finicky. Yeah, it does take force, but it does open. It does have a phone thing here to call home, I guess. So you can see all the Ghibli bits, all the extra detail as well. This is the magnet where the pilot is magnetized to. So let's end this trip 2 there. Again, it has all these detail, which I'll zoom in later. So yeah, this is the cockpit, I guess. And to close it up, basically, you just, it takes a bit of force, but it's doable. So yeah, this is Sputnik 1. So with that being said, let's attach its antennas. And here is Sputnik 1 with the antennas attached. Now there is two sets of antennas. There's a short one and a long one. I'll show you the long one later because it's pretty hard to frame. I also attached Leica on the top there, if you could see. It looks pretty pissed. So yeah, this is how it looks like with the short antennas. God, I like the vac metal. It's a very nice touch. Wish they did more of that on this vehicle. Yeah, this is how it looks like with the short ones, which I'm going to display as because the long one just takes too much room. Also, this is the base it comes with. It's very Soviet-esque the way it's like angled like that. So let's see this vehicle with the long antennas. And here's Sputnik 1 with the long antennas. Now there are options to display this. Of course, one is with the stand and one is with it upright using these antennas as landing struts, which I really do not encourage because these are plastic. They're not die-cast. If it was die-cast, then maybe you can display it upright, but because these are plastic, I really don't recommend you displaying it like it's upright. But having it with the long antennas really makes this thing look legit. Look at that. Sorry if I can't really frame this properly. So I have a lot of junk in the background. Hopefully you can see what it looks like. Yeah. So with that being said, I guess let's load it up. And here is Sputnik1 all loaded up. And as you can see, the lights are working. I finally found the batteries for them. And this is how it looks. I'll show you how to switch on the lights later. It's pretty finagly. So I have the pilot there, like he's getting ready for launch. So he's setting up the last checks and all that with his coffee in one hand and the onboard computer in the other. Unfortunately, the magnet between him and the spacecraft is really weak. It's not a snapping type of magnet, so he will fall off if you're not careful. But it seems to be holding on for now. So I have it with the short antenna because of space, of course. Space is always an issue in my room. And you could see the lights. I think there are 4. There's 2 here and 2 on the bottom. Just look at that back, man. With the vac metal and the wires and all that. Now in the instruction manual, it tells you to use Leica's head because it has a magnet to switch on the lights, but the magnet on Leica is pretty weak, so I'm using this to switch on the lights. So it's generally in this area, the switch. So you just wave this magnet around. So now you have the always on option. So as you can see, those 2 over there, it's always on. And then I guess you just have to wave it a few times to switch it off. Yeah, now it's off. And then now it's on. Again, it's pretty finagly. And the batteries are in here. I'll show you how to open that later. Yeah, and this is it. This is Endless Trip 2 Sputnik1. So with that being said, let's do some close-ups. And here's a close-up of Sputnik1 with the pilot getting ready for launch. He's got his coffee in one hand and the computer in the other. So let's move in. So we got Leica there. Got Endless Trip 2 there. Some more Ghibli bits. So we got Sputnik1. Then we have a to-do list here. Check route, clean coffee, make a call. Caution of burns. So I'm guessing this pilot has some issues holding his coffee in the cockpit. And over here we have, please ensure completion before departing Earth. No restroom. $30 per minute will be deducted from your salary. So I'm guessing calling home isn't really an option for this guy, seeing the prices. Okay, up here is the lights, as you can see, and some warning labels, which I'll put on screen what they say. I think it says high temperature warning. Then over here it says, please do not open when away from Earth or bath. I can't really see what that last word is. Then we have 1 for Sputnik1. And what I believe is a date when the first, well, the only Sputnik was launched. Got some more labels here, but I can't really read it. It says attention, but the words are obscured by the weathering. We got Russian here. If anybody knows what that says, let me know. And what I believe are batteries. Kind of looks like batteries, like car batteries. There's some labels here. I'll put it on screen because it's kind of hard to focus. And these things are they're held pretty securely by these iron rods, so you don't have to worry about this thing snapping. It's pretty secure, as well as that one. So what does this say? Radio signal transmitter, please do not open. And that probably says, yeah, same thing. This one says, surprised by gray alien. Cool. I can't really read what that says. That's me. And this one says, oh god. What does it say? There are some very important things in small print. Great. There's a message here saying, to the sun and to the sky, victory in the space. DAMTOYS, COALDOG. So you got the Sputnik1 Endless Trip 2 logo. And what I believe is the Sputnik1 in Russian. With the CCCP. This one, it says AK Air, do not open. You can see the wires and all that. This one also says, please do not open when away from Earth. And this is where the battery is. So you just have to turn it and unplug it. So it takes 3 LR41 batteries. And the switch is there, on and off. So make sure it's on when you do the magnet thing. Yeah, oh, I forgot to show you the base. It's like this weird material. I mean, it's plastic, but it has this texture to it. It says Endless Trip, I think. And on the other side, it says COALDOG. Also, there's a little message at the bottom of the spacecraft here. I'll put it on screen if you guys want to pause the video and read it. And I think this is the last one. God, there's a lot of detail on this thing. Pay attention, never opened by American. Cool. And this is the umbilical plug there. And yeah, this is the back. And this is the front. So yeah, with that being said, let's find a place for this guy somewhere in my room. So I forgot to show you, in case you were wondering, this is the scale of the 2 Endless Trip releases from COALDOG. So yeah, they're pretty big vehicles. So yeah, with that being said, let's find a place for this guy somewhere in my room. And this is where I'm going to stick Sputnik1 for now. As you can see, he's on the edge of my work table, so he's going to topple over in the next few days. So obviously this isn't a very smart place to put him, so I need to figure it out soon. So yeah, what are my thoughts about this guy? This is a very nice... It's something else. It's really nice, but there is something that's holding it back, like the sticker. I don't really like the sticker. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know, it was lacking his artistic style. The comic as well didn't really explain much, because I really like to have a story behind these characters. That one panel didn't really explain anything, honestly. And yeah, I don't know, if you saw the first Endless Trip review I did, you get like a badge, you get like a nice art print, so it felt special when you bought it. And to be truthful, this is the most expensive COALDOG release thus far. This is pretty pricey for what it is. I mean, you could get a pretty nice 1/6 scale figure for what this thing is going for. So I wish it came with some, I don't know, some cute thing, like maybe another badge or something, I don't know, just to make this purchase worthwhile. But that's just me. It's very nitpicky, but that's just my thoughts on this guy. But overall, the whole thing is insane and I really, really like it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on what you guys think of this release. And with that being said, thanks for watching. And as always, go get 'em.